All right, let's get right into it. In the super high-stakes world of AI, the most powerful models have pretty much been kept under lock and key. Well, until now. Meta just dropped Llama 3, a whole family of AI models that's not just trying to compete with the best, but they're doing it right out in the open. So let's break down what this actually means for all of us. So here's our game plan. First, we'll take a peek inside the closed kingdom of these elite AIs. Then, we'll meet the Llama 3 herd that's here to shake things up. We're going to uncover their recipe for its power, see how it stacks up against the current champions, and finally, really dig into what an open future for AI might actually look like. Okay, first things first, let's set the stage. For the last few years, the absolute cutting edge of AI has been what you could call a closed kingdom. You have a handful of tech giants building and controlling these incredibly powerful models behind their own private, proprietary walls. This is the world that Llama 3 is now storming into. And this really sparks a huge debate. Should this world-changing technology be proprietary, or should it be open for absolutely everyone to look at, to build on, and to innovate with? You know, this isn't just a technical question. It's really about who gets to shape the future of artificial intelligence. And Llama 3 is Meta's very, very public answer to that question. So, let's meet Meta's challenger. With Llama 3, they're not just releasing one model. They're basically deploying an entire family of open models designed to take on that closed kingdom. Llama 3 is Meta's big play to create a top-tier, openly available foundation model. And the strategy is actually pretty simple. Match the performance of the very best closed models, but then hand the keys over to the global community of developers. You'll notice the creators don't call it a single model. They call it a herd. And this isn't just some clever branding. It really points to a specific strategy, releasing a full family of models, each with different sizes and strength, to cover a whole range of different tasks. And here's a look at that herd. You've got an 8 billion parameter model that's nimble, perfect for smaller tasks. Then there's a 70 billion parameter workhorse for more demanding stuff. And then the flagship, a massive 405 billion parameter model built to go head-to-head with the very best. The really key thing to see here is that they all share the same core DNA. They're multilingual, and they can use tools. So how on earth did they build a whole herd of models that are this capable? Well, the paper lays out a recipe that's surprisingly straightforward. It really focuses on 3 key ingredients for success. Their whole recipe for success kind of boils down to 3 main levers. First, just a monumental upgrade in data, both in quality and sheer quantity. Second, training at a much, much larger scale than they ever have before. And third, a focus on keeping things manageable by sticking with a proven, stable architecture. That really helps prevent things from, breaking during these massive training runs. Let's start with that first ingredient, data. The scale here is just staggering. Llama 3 was pre-trained on 15 trillion tokens. A token is basically a word, so we're talking about an almost incomprehensible amount of text and code. And just to put that number into perspective, its predecessor, Llama 2, was trained on about 1.8 trillion tokens. Llama 3 is working with nearly 8 times more data. I mean, this isn't just a small upgrade, it's a completely different leak, and it's one of the biggest reasons why this model is so powerful. Next up is scale. The flagship model has 405 billion parameters. You can think of parameters as all the little knobs the model can turn to learn patterns. Having this many allows it to absorb just an immense amount of nuance from that 15 trillion token dataset, putting it in the exact same heavyweight class as the top proprietary models. All right, so we've seen the recipe. Massive data, massive scale. But does the final product actually taste any good? The real question is whether Llama 3 can actually go toe-to-toe with the closed-source champions. Let's take a look at the results. And the answer is a pretty definitive yes. The evaluations are clear. The 405B model performs right on par with established leaders like GPT-4 across a huge range of different tests. For the open source community, this is, without a doubt, a landmark achievement. For example, take the MMLU benchmark. It's basically a grueling exam for AIs that covers everything from law to computer science. The results here, they really speak for themselves. Llama 3's 45B model is right there with GPT-4 and Claude 3.5 Sonnet. It's not just in the same ballpark, it's basically playing on the same team. And that performance holds up in specialized skills, too. For complex math problems, it's virtually tied with GPT-4. When it comes to generating code, it's extremely competitive, landing firmly in that top tier. The big takeaway here is that this isn't a model that's just good at one thing, it's a true state-of-the-art generalist. Now, what's really crucial is that this power goes way beyond just conversation. Llama 3 can actually take action. It's been trained to use tools, like firing up a code interpreter to analyze data and build charts right on the fly. This is the kind of capability that transforms it from just a knowledgeable chatbot into a genuinely useful assistant. Okay, let's bring it all together now. We've seen that Llama 3 is incredibly powerful. But why does an open release of a model this powerful matter so much? This quote from the paper really reveals their core philosophy. Meta is basically arguing that openness isn't a risk that needs to be managed. It's actually a feature for safety. Their bet is that by releasing powerful models to the public, the entire community can help find flaws, build safeguards, and just accelerate responsible development for everyone. So ultimately, an open release of this caliber really acts as a catalyst. It gives researchers a state-of-the-art model to pick apart and to build on. It gives startups an incredibly powerful foundation which democratizes innovation, and it forces the entire industry to be more transparent, heating up competition and accelerating progress for all of us. This leaves us with one final and, I think, crucial question. For years, AI this powerful was locked away. Now a model that can stand with the very best is open to anyone. The power has been distributed. The only question left is, what are we all going to build with it? Thanks for joining us for this breakdown, and please remember, this explainer is for entertainment and informational purposes only.